So the stock market's actually going down right now. What are you going to do? Stay tuned. Alrighty. So obviously the stock market's in a little bit of trouble, and this could be any time. Obviously you could be watching this way in the future, or way, a year from now, 2 years from now. Obviously during this month here, this last month of May, we had a little bit of a downturn in the stock market. And a lot of people ask me, well, what do you do during this kind of a downturn? What actually are you supposed to do? Well, there's actually obviously not a huge secret to it, and I'll go through it, and at the very end I'll kind of give you the best advice I've ever gotten from anybody. But a couple things you want to do, obviously, and I'm going to show you some stocks here in a couple minutes and show you kind of what they do over time, and then let you make your own assumptions, and then I'll give you my answer. All right, so a couple things you want to do is obviously the very first thing is maybe too late for everybody, but you want to make sure you invest in good stocks. Stocks that obviously have good histories and things like that. I mean, stocks that have potential on the upside, or have good dividends, or have other things. I mean, there's going to be some differences between what I call dividend stocks, where you actually are going to stay pretty steady on the actual stock price and get a kind of a monthly dividend, versus like a income growth type, or a stock that actually is going to grow over time. There's differences in the way you invest, and people are going to have different strategies for depending on how they're investing. And I'm going to go through each of those examples to kind of show you the differences between them both. But in the end of the day, it's all going to be the same answer at the end of the video. All right, so I'm actually going to go through 4 different stocks here just to show you kind of an example of what this all means. So basically there's a moral to this story, so just stay tuned and I'm going to show you what that's all about here shortly. First stock is actually, let's look at Calamo Strategic Total Return. I talked about the stock before. It's a great dividend stock. CSQ is the actual symbol here. It's 11.93. Look at the graph now. The graph over the last, I think I'm in last month, is up around 1290. Now it's down around 1193. So, you're definitely in that 10% drop range. So the stock market's dropping. What do you do? Do you sell this? Well, this is the one I was talking about. There's two different types of stocks. There's going to be one that's going to be dividend, strong, and there's going to be one that you want growth on as far as the stock price. And there's going to be a mix. You can do, obviously, you can get both of them in really good stocks as well. This is more of a dividend stock. So let's look at this. This carries an 8.3% dividend. So it's going down, but you want to get this 8.3% every year, and you want the stock to stay about the same. So this, the last month, let's take a look at this. It's coming down, 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 down. But let me go ahead to the max, all right? And this one's important. Click on the max here. So back in 2004, over 15 years ago, it was around $15. Now you had all this stuff, the world's falling down. Oh, look at it, it's going back up, falling, back up, fall, and then back up. So basically, we're about the exact same price now as we were from the very beginning. That's a perfect, what I call a perfect dividend stock when you're actually getting this 8.3. So you're getting 8.3% every year since 2004 all the way till 2019, and the stock basically never moved. So you have all that worry. So that's why I say leave it alone. All right, let's look at another one, but that's an actual dividend stock, so it's a little bit different. Let's look at Iron Mountain, same thing here. If you look at Iron Mountain, here we are. This is the last 5 days only. So let's say all of a sudden, this is not going to be that pronounced, but let's just say you kind of freak out about stocks. Here it is, up around 32 bucks. Oh my God, the stock market, it's all going down, down, down. People freak out and they actually try to, obviously go ahead and sell. Well, first of all, this has got the best of both worlds. It's got a close to 8% dividend, right? But obviously, don't look at this. Obviously, shut down your computer. Don't even look at it. Trust the stock since you made a good investment on this stock. And let's go ahead and look at the max again on this stock. So we'll click on the max. Look at that. So over time, there's tons of dips, tons of huge dips. I mean, this one over here went from $33 down to $18. You would have freaked out. Most people sold at that time. But look what happened later. It came back up, down, down, up, and eventually it's way up here. So basically what I'm saying here is leave it alone. Don't look at it, right? If you make a good investment, it'll come back. But obviously it depends on your age and things like that. We'll get into that in a second. Let's go ahead and look at Apple. Apple's probably one of the most pronounced things here. This is the last month. Again, this is 2019. Up around 2011, all the way down to 175. So, the world's falling. Now, do you believe in Apple? Do you think it's a good company? Is it going to have a comeback? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. If you do, though, let's go ahead and look at the max. Again, look at that. So, if you look at these areas here, like here and here, I mean, if you would have, these are pretty substantial drop. drop all the way back up, now another drop. So if you actually would have just sold at those times, you would have ended up losing the whole upside here, including, you know, dividends and everything else that goes along with it. So again, good example. If you invest in a good stock, turn off your computer and don't look at it, right? So basically, the last one I want to show you is the Dow, and everyone knows this example, but you know, the last 5 days, let's just say, look at the Dow. It's basically just gone down and down and then down. So obviously, this is due to some tariff things and stuff going on right now, trying to you know, scare the market and what have you. But long story short, you know, it's down over this time quite a bit, and you can see, you know, obviously, it may go down for another couple weeks. But this is the most pronounced thing. This is the Dow Jones Industrial. This is over, you know, the course of the entire history of it. Let's go click on the max on this one. Look at this. Back in 1979, right? You know, we had one downturn, two downturns, 3, 4, 5, basically hundreds, all the way up, up. Huge downturn in 2018, way back up. So obviously this is the 2008 one over here, so that was probably one of the most pronounced in our lifetime as far as the young people are concerned. But basically, as you go up, look what the overall graph is. So, you know, if you look at this graph the way it is now, you would be like, that's a phenomenal stock. If you look at the graph like this, right, now you would say it's a terrible stock. So my advice to everyone is don't look at the stock. What you need to do is make sound investments in the beginning and don't freak out about stuff. And, you know, obviously it's going to matter on your age and things like that, which I'll talk about in a second. But long story short, I wanted to show you some examples of real world of why you should never get excited. Use your head. Don't actually make investment decisions based off of other people's, you know, just the media kind of feeding this and all that other stuff. Because if you make a sound investment, it will come back. Alrighty, so the word of advice that I give everyone here is, what do you do during a market downturn? Probably the best answer is nothing. And when I say that, I don't say that, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments and things like that, but it depends on the positioning that you put yourself in before you actually got into the situation of the market downturn. If you did a good job in your stocks and you diversified everything the way you were supposed to, you know, really you don't want to do anything during these times, because you're going to see the returns that I told you about just, you know, prior, and you're going to see other things happen, but eventually the stocks will come back. And sometimes they come back stronger. You have to have faith in the stocks. You actually have to, you know, not watch them every single day and just sit there and like keep an eye on them. If you're watching them every single day, you know, it causes a lot of problems, and you basically get nervous, and that's when you actually start selling on a downturn, and you end up losing a lot of your money. So my advice is really do nothing if you're in a situation where you can do that. Again, that doesn't apply to everyone. It's definitely not going to apply to people like that have a year left or something, and you want to maintain all your savings because you think it's going to be 5 years before it comes back. So you got to, you know, obviously weigh your options there. But that was the one thing I learned when I was growing up is, you know, don't watch it every day, and just, you know, have faith in your investments, and things will happen the right way. All right, really quickly, if you guys can subscribe to my channel, I would totally appreciate it. I do a lot of financial videos, I do tech videos, and I do some travel videos. So do a couple a week, trying to get my subscriber up to hopefully 1,000 one day. So if everyone can help me out, talk to you guys soon. Bye.